Here's the uncomfortable truth. The fears that keep your businesses from growing don't vanish as you scale. They compound. At $1 million, fears whisper. At $8 million, they shout loud. I see this across every leadership team I work with. Fear of the unexpected, fear of losing what you've built, fear that if you ease up for just a second, everything will fall apart. But leaders who build long-term, profitable, purpose-driven businesses, they're not fearless. They just have principles that stops fear from running the show. Today, I'm sharing 4 of them. Principles I use with every client, from boutique consultancies to national providers, so that you can grow without burning out your team or yourself. Hi, I'm Odette from Amplify Business Coaching and Consulting, and I help service-based businesses turn unpredictable revenue into sustainable growth, and I help leaders build businesses that amplify their life, not drain it. If this hits home, screenshot the episode, tag me on LinkedIn, and share your biggest shift. I love seeing leaders take action on this kind of stuff. Here's the thing. Uncertainty does not kill businesses. Being caught off guard does. The best companies aren't lucky. They're deliberate about spotting changes before it lands on their doorstep. So we build anticipation into culture. I teach leadership teams to run quarterly horizon scans where we ask, what's changing in our market that we're pretending isn't? Notice the wording, pretending, because most leaders know what's coming. They're just too busy or too afraid to address it until it's urgent. If you wait for the cracks to show in revenue, retention, or culture, you've already lost months, maybe even years of competitive advantage. So, take 30 minutes this week. Sit down with your key people and ask that one question. What you uncover might not be comfortable, but it's cheaper than denial. Remember, if you're not scanning the horizon, you're gambling with hope, not strategy. There's a silent killer in businesses. Success doesn't feel like risk, but it is. The moment you stop questioning what makes you excellent, you've already started sliding into mediocrity. I get executive teams to ask hard questions like, if we were our own competitor, what would we attack first? Why would you ask that? Well, because it forces you to become brutally honest about where you're vulnerable. And better you find it out than your competitors. Think about it. When was the last time you questioned the very thing your customers praise you for? That's where industries get disrupted, by someone brave enough to challenge what good looks like. So, add this question to your next leadership review. Write down the answer and don't leave the room until you've decided on one small action to address it. Your comfort zone is not safe. It's actually the most dangerous place for your business to be. Something I talk to leaders about often is you're not scared of growth. You're scared of losing control while you grow. And that's the reality. Always ask yourself the question, does your current structure support the revenue you want or just the revenue that you've had? Most leaders realize they're still running multi-million-dollar businesses on systems they built back when they were half the size. That's why teams burn out and leaders can't breathe. The real job of a scaling CEO is not to sell more. It's to build the kind of leadership and systems that the next level demands. So before you chase the next big deal, review your structure. Is it built for where you're going or where you've been? First, upgrade your systems, then grow. Remember, revenue growth without structure isn't growth, it's drift. And it generally causes chaos and lots of stress. As business owners, we know entrepreneurs have more ideas than they have time in their days. But ideas don't grow businesses. Execution does. I once met a man who said to me, culture will eat strategy for breakfast. And he's not wrong. This is where most business leaders get stuck. They're drowning in great ideas. They drown in strategy, but they starved of actually finishing anything. So I build what I call a 90-day execution rhythm. Each quarter, we pick one initiative, assign ownership, and then review it weekly. It sounds simple, right? But here's the truth. Most leaders don't have the discipline to focus on one thing long enough to finish it. And that's why their pipeline never turns into profit. Your team doesn't need more strategy meetings. You need to pick a lane and drive it to completion. So ask yourself right now, what's one initiative that would make the biggest impact in the next 90 days? Write it down, assign it, and review it weekly. No exceptions. Your ideas aren't the problem. It's the lack of rhythm and execution that is. Let's quickly recap. Anticipation beats uncertainty every day of the week. Continuous challenge kills complacency. Strategic scaling makes growth sustainable. And execution rhythm turns ideas into income. Fear does not disqualify you as a leader. Letting it run your business does. So take one principle this week, apply it, because busy doesn't build legacy. Brave, deliberate leadership does. If you're ready to build a business that grows with purpose, not panic, book a strategy session. The link is in the show notes. And if you're local, join me at Sustain Her in the hills at our next catch up. This is where conversations like this turns into action. If this sparked something for you, screenshot it, tag me on LinkedIn. I love seeing leaders who are serious about leading well, because your legacy doesn't just shape your business, it shapes everything in your life it touches. Leaders who win aren't fearless. They're just brave enough to take the next right step.